Welcome to the Travelers Club Championship National Championship. My name is Art Miskew, and I'm here with Jerry Chisnoka, and we're here for the final women's round robin game.
And we have Northwest Territories at 0-5, Manitoba at 1.
Yeah, so this game doesn't mean a lot in the standings, but it does mean a lot for pride. And I know Manitoba has one win over Alberta, which is one of the favorites in this event. And the Northwest Territories have had a number of close games. They've been in most of their games they've played, but they haven't won yet, and they'll be working hard to try and reverse that trend. So we're looking forward to a good game here. And given the results of the other games and the impact of those or the meaning of them, we'll also keep you up to date on a few of the other games, although we won't be able to get any coverage of them. But in this pool, the other games are...
Pool B.
Yeah.
We have New Brunswick and New Brunswick at 3-2, playing Northern Ontario at 4-1.
And we also have BC and Alberta battling it out for first. They're both at 4-1. And that's in this pool. In the other pool, the games are interesting. We have Nova Scotia against Newfoundland and Labrador, and they're 2-3 and 1-4. The big game for first place in the Pool A is PEI against Ontario. PEI is 4-1 and Ontario 5-0. And in the other game, it's Saskatchewan, who's 4-1. They're guaranteed a playoff spot, playing Quebec at 2-3. So there won't be a tiebreaker in the other pool, but first place is on the line. And so we'll keep you up to date on those as well. Now in our game, the Territories team going first. Manitoba has the hammer, so the skip for Northwest Territories is asking her lead to throw an intern guard.
Partial go.
Pretty good throw.
Good shot there, right on the center.
Halfway.
The Northwest Territories team consists of Wilhelmina Lenny, Eleanor Jerome, Donna Maring, and Diane Baxter.
Out of the Inuvik Curling Club.
Wait only.
Team from St. Vital Curling
right
Club
here.
consists of Lori Campbell at lead, Jackie Hendrickson in second, Pamela
Take a look,
Koch
wait
at third,
only,
and
wait
the
only.
skip is Marlene Lang.
And they're out of the St. Vital
okay.
Curling Club
Nice
in
throw, Lori.
Winnipeg, Manitoba.
And after the guard was thrown, the Manitoba team was asked to, the lead, throw a draw to the side of the house, which is a pretty standard call. You could come around that, or you could draw to the side. This is a call, meaning she's going to probably try and keep the front open. And the Northwest Territories team, we're playing an intern hit. Wilhelmina Lenny throwing this hit down. Yeah, good solid one, right on the nose there.
Laura Campbell says she's been curling for 28 years, and she was born and raised in Brandon,
Hard.
Manitoba.
Yep. Hard.
She's married
guys, hard,
to
hard.
Ryan,
All the way up. All the way up.
and she's the
Hard
mother
for
of 3
Pete.
little girls. Ella 6, Sadie 4, and Hannah 2.
Nice.
They're not curlers yet, but they do watch enough on TV, and they plan to be curlers one day. Little rockers in the making.
Not a good hit and roll, a good hit, but it rolled out. So chance for the Northwest Territories to throw an out-turn draw around that center guard they threw up earlier.
Back there.
It's nice to come to an event like this where not only do you have teams representing every province, but you also have 3 teams from the north, one from the Yukon, the Northwest Territories, and the Nunavut. And they don't get as much curling up there. They're not able to travel as much. So to come down to an event like this is great for some of the development of the curlers up there, and it's a good opportunity for the curlers to come down and see some of the other teams from the other provinces and get to play them.
So Jackie Henderson, playing second stones for Manitoba, is asked to play an out-turn draw to the tee line.
Close the tee as we can, guys. All right.
Good sweeping, good command of weight.
And now, after that missed shot from the Territories, they're going to throw another one, this time to try to take out the rock that was just placed in the rings.
Oh, she's got more. She's got more.
It's a little wide. It has to curl a bit. And I think she's got a little piece of it. Just enough to get it out. She almost knocked over one of the players from Saskatchewan on the next sheet, but they stopped it in time. So good call. And now, interestingly enough, Manitoba is not coming around the guard, not taking it out. Marlene Lang is now asking Jackie Hendrickson to throw one to the side of the sheet again. So that's her strategy, not just for the beginning of the end, but for the entire end.
Now Jackie's been playing for 38 years. She's a floor coordinator, and she's married to Rennie Hendrickson. She has 2 kids, Robbie, 18, and a daughter, Julie, age 12, currently in grade 7.
And Diane Baxter was able to sweep that out a bit, and so another opportunity for the Northwest Territories team. This time with the third, Donna Maring, to maybe get around that center guard with no turn draw. These gets pretty keen here in a hurry, so they're going to have to pick up the weight. They were a little heavy earlier in the end, and they're not touching this one either. And she's a little hot too, so that's a couple of missed opportunities for the Territories. Now it'll be interesting to see if Marlene Lang, she's changed her tactic here. She's going to try and force the issue with a draw here.
They managed to do it the other night. They've been trained.
So she's asking Pamela Koch to play a little in-turn draw around this center guard. She's going to try and get a little offensive here.
You guys have room.
Now, we noticed from other games that this side really curls a lot when you have the right weight. So she's well by the guard, but that can still get pretty close to the guard, getting behind the guard.
Yep, finish it hard. Yep, get to the line, get to the line. Come on, you can get to the line.
Nice looking shot coming up here.
Awesome sweep. Nice sweep, guys.
Oh,
Nice
good
one,
shot,
PJ.
yeah. Just in
Gee, that's almost fully buried behind that long guard, isn't it, Art?
right, and you can see when it missed the guard by like 2.5 feet, you wouldn't think it'd be that buried, but if you have the right weight, it'll really curl around the guard there.
And as well covered as that rock is, it's pretty acceptable.
Yeah, they're playing an intern tap or draw, and Donna Maring's shot has really good-looking line. They're sweeping it. I think they'd like to push it back a little bit.
Nice shot.
Yeah, it's a good shot. Even though Manitoba's still shot, that rock for the Territories is in a pretty good spot. So Diane Baxter now asking Pamela Koch to play another little freeze in there.
Now, Pamela started curling at the Port Arthur Curling Club in Thunder Bay at the age of 14. She's married. Her husband name is Doug.
Wait if you can.
Her son lives in Matthew lives in Burnaby,
No line.
and Scott, her other son, lives in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Yep, sweep it back.
This one's maybe a little heavy because it hasn't started curling yet.
Yep. Go, go, go. Hard, hard, hard.
Actually, it didn't work out too badly. I don't think you can come off that and make the double. They just swept it a little at the end to try and get it behind the one that they pushed behind all the guards. So this is a big shot now for Diane Baxter. If she can make a little hit and roll towards that one that's on the back four, she might have put a little pressure on Manitoba here.
definitely like to try and get that inside roll to move it off the back of the forefoot, for instance. Leave her rock at top for shot rock.
She's a little out there. I think that has to curl. She doesn't have a lot of weight, so it might come down. And she won't get the inside roll, that's for sure, but I think she'd just like to pump this out right now. It's pretty almost on the nose. Not a bad shot. Good thing for her right now is if Manitoba happens to hit pretty close to the nose on that, or even roll a little bit towards the other yellow in the forefoot, she might have an easier double or hit and roll. But I don't believe Manitoba's playing a hit. They're playing a draw, aren't they?
Judging by the ice, I'd say they are, yeah.
She might be trying to come down. Do you think she's coming down to the yellow, or maybe playing a little corner freeze on the top red and the one on the top of the forefoot?
To cover that bump.
Yeah, we couldn't really see the call on that, but and we couldn't really hear what they were saying, but we think that they might be trying to come around the guard or just corner freeze on the top red.
Line's good. All the way, guys. All the way to the line. Whoa, we're on the front.
Yeah, I think she was trying to go around it because they're saying they're on the front and they want to stop sweeping it now. That's actually not terrible. That's you could tap that yellow one back onto the red with just like back house weight, and you'd be able to get that one out. And I believe you'd be sitting 2. But here's an opportunity maybe for the Diane Baxter here from the Northwest Territories to...
I think Manitoba's still shot, don't you, Art?
Absolutely, yeah, I believe so. It's close, but Manitoba's shot, so the Territories here could get one in here. Perhaps just partly around that guard, or that, sorry, not the guard, but the one in the top 8 that was just thrown. And it would be pretty tough to get it out if it stops in front of the tee, because there's a risk of jamming it onto the back one. She needs to have really good weight on this one. You have to have enough line, and if it's too heavy, it won't curl. If you have the right weight, it'll really curl at the end.
You have to believe it's going to curl, even though that rock is over buried. That shot stone for Manitoba. She can get to it.
Yeah, now they're sweeping, I guess, for weight here. It's got lots of room. I don't know why I think they got to get off.
Oh.
Just a little overswept there. I'm not sure.
They might have been playing for the wick. I don't know.
I'm not sure if I heard a lot of communication, but again, I don't have the mics on the front end players. If they were indicating what the weight was, and maybe the third wasn't aware that it was that heavy, because they were definitely being called on to sweep.
Well, what do you want to do? We can't jam that. We can try to bump that up. We could do that to make sure the bumper. Or you just draw here.
So
But
I
do you
guess
know that that's
Manitoba is
something
not convinced they're
don't
shot
know
at the
yet?
back, Art.
So you draw for your 1 and then
Good
you
question there, unless they think they can tap this for 3.
I think they're concerned about 1.
Yeah, on the overhead camera, it does appear
it's
that
us.
Manitoba's shot, but again, we're not 100% sure because I don't know if the camera is right above the button. It's still up. I think they're
close.
She's saying it's close, so they're not really
Same
sure.
weight, guys.
But she's taking enough
Keep it a little
ice
bit
that
more
she's
ice, so
not
just
playing
watch
the
it.
bump.
She's playing a straight draw.
Yeah, so I think she's saying, well, I think we're 1. We'll try and draw for 2, and I guess if they lose that measure, they'll take their 1, assuming they make this draw.
A little bit lighter. Gotta go. Line, 4 foot.
Maybe they have to go on this one. Line is good. Oh, no. Still hanging up there. Now it looks like it's skating. That might be a little heavy. Well, at least she didn't touch her yellow one, so I think it's still close enough. There might be a measure. Let's see what they decide here.
Let's get it measured. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
They're going to measure it.
Yeah.
Let's see. While they're doing the measure, we've got Nova Scotia up 1-0 on Newfoundland and Labrador. A blank end between PEI and Ontario. Quebec started with a 3 over Saskatchewan. And there's a blank end in the first end between BC and Alberta. What do you think, Jerry? I'm going to go with yellow. What do you say?
That was my initial.
Sorry, I meant to. I meant to say. I meant to say yellow. We're seeing it from the back. Yeah, I'm saying yellow.
I think it's yellow too, but
Okay. So let's see if we're both right. I got fooled when we saw the camera angle.
Well, that's what we kind of did in Northern Ontario too, right?
actually, from the monitors it looks red, but from the overhead it looks yellow. Terry,
Yeah.
is there any bios for Northwest Territories? Need information on the Northwest Territories teams?
We never got it.
Oh, okay.
If I ever went to a national, I probably wouldn't send you one either.
Why? You don't thought of yourself?
Now let's see how accurate these cameras look. Yeah, it is still a little different from the overhead camera versus the camera on the.
Oh, it's not even close? Red?
It was red. So we were both wrong.
Interestingly enough, from our monitor in front of us it looked red, but on the overhead screen it looked yellow, so.
So that means after one end of our Travelers Club Curling Championship, it's a score of 1 for the Northwest Territories, and they're up 1-0 on Manitoba. So in an end that I really didn't think was looking like a steal for Northwest Territories, and the reason they got their point in there was on a little bump up, but Manitoba actually knocked them in a little bit. But
Yep. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Close, 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 close.
we haven't mentioned anything yet.
Nice weight.
Another center guard on the intern for Wilhelmina Lenny. Looks like Baxter's team is ready to play some ball here. They're thrown 2 center guards in their first 2 ends.
D-line.
Whereas Manitoba, by the fact they're calling this as a rock in the rings, indicates they might want to be a little bit more conservative at the beginning of this game. Not throwing a corner guard, not coming around the center guard. And this one, they're not touching it. I think it's going to stop in the back, but let's find out.
Running 25.
Back and
No, not
Just
in
through.
the house, just through the house.
Sweep it. Ah.
For those who were watching the games earlier, there will be a tiebreaker on the men's side tomorrow morning at 8:30. We'll be covering that, I believe, on the web streaming, depending on whether there's a women's game. But right now, for sure, there's a men's game at 8:30 in the morning between Quebec and Saskatchewan.
Got lots, eh? Got lots.
This looks a little hot. I think it needs to rub the red to stay somewhere.
Hard, 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 hard.
Or is it going to make a split?
it's going to hang on.
Oh, yes. Little biter there with the other rock in the top 12. Well, that wasn't quite what you called for, but it was a fine shot. She made a nice little split, and they're well spread out. Now lead Lori Campbell just asked to play a little hit. Would like to get a roll towards the other rock. She's got nice quiet weight, but she rolls out a little bit on the high side. Now this end is starting out like it could be attempted force by the Territories. Oh, no, maybe not. Well, she's going to go top house here, not split the rings. I guess if you're a little short here, it wouldn't be too bad, and that would be sort of game on again. Whoa. That's a little hot. She could have been a little short or just top 12, but unfortunately it's going through the house. That's the good news for Manitoba. The bad news is that rock's pretty hard to hit on the side, so knowing that, Marlene Lang is asking Jackie Hendrickson just to play a little draw down here to that little biter. And you can't really freeze to this, Jerry, isn't it? It's pretty far over at the side, just on the
tough
tee line,
shot.
too. Yeah. I think you just want to get it in the general area.
Coming
you
up
know
a bit
what?
short isn't the end of the world either, corner guard.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. In fact, some teams might just play a corner guard here anyway.
They're working hard to get it in,
Good try.
but
Not quite there, but like you say, not a bad shot.
No.
You can use that later as a corner guard. And in theory, that biter shouldn't really hurt you too much.
we'll see if it comes into play. But if they do get a rock around that corner guard, there's a good angle on the jam if the Territories should ever go after it. But we'll see.
Right.
So Territories is splitting the house, playing the out turn.
Right. Now, one thing, you don't want it to go too far out because you'd like it to be that if they came around the guard, Manitoba, that they wouldn't get shot rock. I think they were sweeping a bit there to try and hold it straight to get onto the backing, but that wasn't going to happen. It over-curled, and Territories are still only sitting one, and now Manitoba has an opportunity to use that corner guard they just threw up pretty well by mistake, but now it's a good opportunity to use it again.
Line's good.
The interesting thing was, even if the Territories stops that rock into 12-foot, it was so far over, Manitoba may have decided to go around that corner anyways.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jerry. I think they're going to try and use that corner at all
This
costs.
one is hot too.
Yeah, it looks like it. I don't think it's going to stop.
It's slick out here.
Just like earlier today, we did see a few draws missed. It seems to be a little bit elusive getting the draw weight today.
Teams were just a little slow in picking up the ice. This ice does change after it gets a few rocks down. It quickens up.
Now, interestingly, they're playing in the open side again, but like you were saying earlier, if it curls outside the 8-foot, it might not be
A useful shot. No,
if they can come around the guard.
No, get off it.
this one has better line. It's a nice rock right on the tee line, just off the 4-foot.
Oh, okay. Good, thanks.
Whoa. Close.
In-turn hit being called by Manitoba.
Yep. 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 Good one.
Good shot, nose hit. So Donna Maring is being asked by her skip to remove that Manitoba counter. It just slides by. So a golden opportunity here for Team Manitoba to come around that corner guard that was set up kind of accidentally.
And a little pressure off this shot, knowing you're already sitting one. You don't have to be right around, perfectly around the guard.
Gotta get up.
Like to get it in there somehow, but so they can't hit that one. This isn't light either, is it?
This is coming down.
Oh, here it comes. Looks pretty close.
Come to the T plus.
That's a good shot because even though it's not perfect because it's just behind the tee line, it's in a situation where it would be pretty risky to try and hit it. You're going to try and hit the shot rock first. Territories, I'm not sure if they're... Oh, there they go. I wasn't sure for a second if she's going to play a corner freeze, which would have surprised me.
So Diane's elected to play an out-turn takeout on the Manitoba shot rock.
It's a little risky, too, if she's going to play the roll because there are those two rocks you could jam on in the back of the house. So, I mean, you do want to get a roll towards the other side, but you have to be pretty careful here.
You're absolutely right, Art. If that rock curls a bit too much on her, Manitoba might be hitting her drawing for three.
Right. You're going to have to watch this one closely.
Yes. Hard, 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 hard.
They call hard.
Hard, 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 girls. Hard, hard, hard. Hard, hard, hard. Hard, hard, hard. All the way. Hard, hard, hard.
It's not a lot of weight. They're going to really have to sweep to hold this. Get that rock out. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's better to do that than do what we just mentioned about jamming it. So Manitoba's sitting one, trying to draw for two, but she has to just make sure she doesn't put it in a spot where you might get some kind of a double. And drawing the open side shouldn't really be an issue. Just to mention, anybody in the area who wants to come down to the club tomorrow or watch the webcast should be 8:30. After that, the quarterfinals will be at 1:30, and the semifinals at 6:30. We don't know the women's games yet on that, but the men will have in the quarterfinal tomorrow. Nova Scotia's going to be in. We don't know who's going to be playing who yet. Depends on what happens in the tiebreaker in the morning. The winner of Quebec-Saskatchewan will be in the quarter, and so will the Yukon and Northern Ontario. In the semis tomorrow night, the top teams were Newfoundland and Labrador, first in their pool, and Manitoba first in their pool. And they'll have to await the winners of whoever comes out of the quarterfinal.
Mine's good. It's got to at least be half in. Whoa, leave it high.
Looks like pretty good weight.
Stop. Stop. Stop.
That's a good shot.
It's a good shot.
Crazy.
Now, Baxter could play the same kind of hit, but you're worried about the jam then. And if she really wanted to be aggressive, she would freeze to the one around the corner guard, but you really have to know your draw weight on that one.
She's playing to draw on the corner freeze on the rock that Manitoba just threw.
Like if we go there, that would definitely have been.
That's a pretty aggressive call by your reaction. I'd say you don't agree with the call.
Well, not sure I disagree. I just, it's not from my liking, you know.
No, I agree with you.
This is a tough shot.
This is a really, I mean, if you're going to play a freeze, I'd rather play, I mean, I don't like the freeze to begin with, but if you're going to play it, I'd rather play on the one around the corner. I think there's a better chance of then getting a force, but...
Not only that, but if you get around that corner, you might even, if you entice Manitoba to take a run at it, you might even steal.
Yeah, and this is a really hard freeze. And she might have just got it a little out.
What is it at? Where is it?
It's a question of her weight.
Where is it? Yes.
Oh, it's coming down. It's really curling hard with the handle she had.
Hard, 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 hard. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Geez, what's her
Yep,
line
yep,
like?
yep,
Looks
yep,
pretty
yep.
good.
It's over curling a bit, I think. I think they have to sweep for line. Oh, that was
Wow.
almost perfect. I just don't know whose second shot is. I believe, well, the way Manitoba's going down the sheet, I don't think it's close for second because they didn't give it a second look. So Manitoba will be drawing for 3. Boy, but that was a gutsy call, and she almost made it. That was over curled by maybe an inch. Otherwise, that would have been a really tough shot for Manitoba to get a point. Well, they could have got a point, but more than 1 point.
Manitoba, yeah, that's right. Manitoba would have been forced to play the draw probably for 1.
Yeah, that was really good try.
Big turnaround.
Well, this is a less pressure shot. You don't have to worry about losing points here. You're scoring 2 no matter what. This is for the extra point. They're not touching it, though. It's starting to slow down. I think she's going to be all right, but it sure didn't have to be sweat much. So in our Travelers Club Curling Championship, after 2 ends now, it's Manitoba 3 and the Northwest Territories 1. I believe they haven't kicked them out yet, but that's our call from up here in the booth. Jerry, what do you say? Otherwise, I'm pretty sure Manitoba would have
I think, yeah.
played a hit there.
Or they're taking a good look at it.
Well, maybe they wouldn't have played a hit. Maybe it was too risky, but I'd still say it's a 3.
See whether they bring the sticks out.
Yeah, that could be the second measure in 2 ends. While we're waiting for this, Alberta's up 2-0 on BC. Saskatchewan has scored 1. They're down 3-1 to Quebec, but they're guaranteed a playoff spot. The battle for first in the other pool is Ontario up 2-0 on Prince Edward Island right now. And Nova Scotia's up 1-0 on Newfoundland and Labrador. And then over on the far sheet is a New Brunswick against Northern Ontario, and that's a big game over there to see if there's going to be a tiebreaker. They haven't marked the score yet, but we're calling it 3.
Top 4 only.
It's interesting. Some of the teams here aren't from some of the big cities, including the Northwest Territories team. They aren't from Yellowknife. They're from Inuvik, and I believe it's an old First Nation team, which is pretty neat to come out to a curling event here in the National Championship. To be competing here in Ottawa. They're hopefully they're having a good time here, coming down and, like I say, playing against teams from all over the country. Now the Manitoba Rock slipped just behind the tee line, but not a bad shot. Well, we were right on the score, Jerry. It is a 3, so we're not always wrong.
So we're 1 for 1 so far.
Yeah, yeah. 1 for 2. We got the measure wrong in the first end.
That's right.
Yeah, we can blame the cameras for that. So I think she was calling a corner there with Wilhelmina Lenny. She just slipped a couple of feet deep and into the ring, so that rock is hittable now for the Manitoba team, and I'm thinking they're going to hit it. This looks pretty close. They're saying whoa, but I think it's going to come down. It's not a lot of weight. It's almost on the nose.
Nice one.
Good shot from
Yeah, I know. Last 2 hits.
from Manitoba there.
I like it though.
Lori
Key to
Campbell.
that shot was the weight control. If she would have had a little bit more weight, it would have ran on her. It just started to curl pretty hard from the hog line in, and to get that nose hit.
Right, that was a good good out turn. Nice control of the weight. Again, I'm not sure if they're playing a freeze here,
Yep.
but that's a little heavy. They're going to have to go hard just for the line. Try and hold it up, maybe get at this takeout. Who knows, they might get a hit and roll here.
Trying to
This
hit.
is close. Oh, nice shot. Almost perfectly buried there by Wilhelmina Lenny. Nice shot. So much so that Manitoba, they're not going to try and hit it out. They're just playing a little freeze to it.
Game on.
Yeah. We like lots of rocks in play anyway, so we want to see a few freezes. We're doing a game earlier today, and a couple of times we called blank ends halfway through, and after that, just about every rock was in play, so you just never know how it's going to go. She might be a little heavy here, Jackie Hendrickson.
Their sweepers have backed off.
Yeah. She's going to get a little... She's not going to stop. She might touch the yellow on the red. No.
Ooh, just slides by.
Sorry. I'll get it here.
Just a little heavy.
I got a 294 on that.
Oh, no, a chance for the territories here. Well, she's going in front there. She could do that, or she could draw the open side, given she has the hammer. Here, you can't be heavy on this one. If you're a little bit light, you sort of guard yours, even though you have the hammer. You don't like throwing center guards, but back there, and you want to protect it. Weight looks close. I think they want to stay close to this one. That should curl now at the end. No, it's going to come right to it.
Coming to it, just coming back house.
Shows you what I know. I misjudged that one too. They swept it pretty well. Just a little heavy. It does look like it's really skating in some places, Jerry. It's coming down pretty hard.
Well, all the misses have been just that little extra heavy.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody's been coming up short.
Yeah. There's a possible hit and roll or a double here.
This is going to be close.
It's getting closer.
Close.
Yes.
Yep.
Here it comes.
Hurry,
This looks real good.
Lori. Whoa.
Oh yeah.
How sweet
Nice
was
throw,
that?
Jack.
Wow.
Nice shot. That's not only got in behind her own rock in the top 12, she's pretty well frozen to the red one.
Same thing, Diane.
Second, Ellen Jerome trying a little freeze. They're not touching it, but I think it's a little tight on the line. They might have to go on the line in a minute. They don't think it needs sweeping for weight, but they do have to get by that guard.
Yep.
It's going to be close.
Just a nice
She's sweeping it hard.
To your side, Donna.
Ooh, just by. Nice shot.
Beauty.
Oh, that's
Beauty.
a great shot. Now she's kind of turned the tables a little bit. Now it's the red one, partly behind that. Well, I'd call it a guard, and frozen on the yellow. So now it's up to Manitoba to try and follow that down.
Make sure.
Pamela Koch trying to get right in there and freeze to this red. And they're calling sweeping right away.
Where is it?
It's starting to curl. It might because it's light, but if she gets by, she might
Yep, all the
might
way.
have real good. She's got a really good line on this, I think.
If she's got the weight, she's got a really nice looking shot.
Yeah, they're really going at it. Oh, it might
Might
be
just over curl a bit on her.
just a little short, but still not a bad
Wow.
shot.
I liked it better when you were more boisterous. Let her go.
It's only early in the game.
Let her go.
I appreciate you gentlemen giving me a second chance.
Are we shot, Brock? We're shot? We're shot. Just guard it. Yeah.
It's hard to know where to go on this one. You can't just go in the open. I like this call, Jerry. Do you like this? Or
Yeah, I like this call.
Is that it? On the cover up?
she has a chance to get one on top. I mean, she could either be just on the center line,
Watch the line,
top of the
girls. Nothing
house.
come
If
inside.
you happen to corner freeze on that
Corner
yellow,
freeze
it's
in that
not-
yellow would be a
Whoa.
pretty good shot.
Yeah, this isn't light though. It might be a touch hot.
You don't want hot.
No.
You don't want hot.
Just gotta hope it stops or touches one of those rocks. Ah, it's too bad.
That's too bad.
That was real close to being good. That stops a foot shorter, maybe 2 feet shorter anyway. The good thing for her, I don't think there's a double there, because I think the red would jam on the back
Red's
yellow,
gonna jam on the back yellow. Yeah, I agree.
unless you just feather it through. But I don't. You'd have to throw really big weight. I don't know if she would want to be doing that.
Yes! Hard! Come on, guys, hard! Hard!
Well, they jumped it right over her hand.
Yeah, she was
All
a
the way,
little
all the way, guys. Hard, hard,
tight.
hard, hard, hard! Hard! Get it by, get it
Ooh, she did get it by. Great sweep by the front end.
So Territories is still shot rock, sandwiched in between those two yellows.
Really, it almost looks like nothing's changed from the from 2 shots ago.
Same call. Corner freeze.
Yeah, Donna Maring now trying the shot again. Yeah, again, the tolerance here I think is a little light.
Yep.
Although you are leaving the double run back, but that's a little tricky. You can't guard everything. This one's definitely curling more. I think that's quite a bit lighter. Now I think they've got to get off.
She guards that run back.
Yeah.
Started to run back.
That's not actually that's not bad. I think the run back was actually easier than coming down to the shot rock. So she probably doesn't realize it, but that was probably the best thing she could have done.
Because yeah, Manitoba gets, if they corner freeze on that red stone and lay shot rock, like that red rock is not going anywhere.
It's pretty tough to freeze to that because you can only see a little bit of
About
it.
an inch
The
of
yellow
it.
rock's right in front of it. This is a really hard shot for Manitoba here. Marlene Lang's going to really have to
Has it changed,
be
right?
precise on this rock. I mean, it's almost like a setup shot for the next shot.
Well, the other thing is if she gets close to the top of that 4 foot, makes the draw for 2 eventually a little more difficult.
Oh, for sure. I don't even think a bad shot is. Yeah, right on the center line or even top back. So
It's a little tight.
not just
I'm
half
tight,
buried.
Yep.
Oh, they're tight on that. They've got to go.
Yep.
They're calling for line all the way.
Hard line, girls.
I think that's really
Rock
over
is
curling.
moving over. It's all over the
It's
guard.
on the guard.
Take it in. Yep. Go, go, go.
Weight wasn't bad.
So
I don't think they have too many
golden
choices.
opportunity for Territories
Yep,
come
they,
around.
They have to come around that rock that was just thrown there and ended up over there. And you could have 2 rocks in the 4 foot.
Buried.
Pretty buried, yeah. It's interesting over here. We were here earlier today, and every time I looked over on sheet 1, there were a bunch of rocks in play with interesting ends, and it looks like the same thing is happening tonight. And we can see Northern Ontario is up 2-1 on New Brunswick in that game.
But you want to come around?
But New Brunswick has the hammer, so it looks like a pretty good game.
That's a big game for New Brunswick at
Yeah,
3-2.
Yeah, that game has playoff implications for sure.
Lock it off. Yeah. Yeah, because I came out and it's wide open. All they got to do is bump theirs back.
Wow.
It looks like, I don't know if she's just playing a guard here with that
Well,
ice.
I don't think that's come around ice, that's for
No,
sure.
that looks pretty tight, so she might just be playing a dead guard. Yeah, they're definitely not going for the come around on that one. I don't know why she's doing that because the rock's pretty tough to get out even if you don't throw the guard.
Well, to get in, to get an intern to go in there into
Yeah.
that hole.
Unless she's trying to draw this port. And corner freeze on the yellow still.
She's trying to go through the hole.
Wow. That's a good try. She corner froze on the top yellow, not the back one that I believe she wanted to go on. I'm not sure if that picked because they're looking at where she threw the rock and they're smiling, so she might have, it might have grabbed, I'm not sure, but I don't know what she was really calling there. Anyway, it gives Manitoba a chance now with Marlene Lang to come around that rock that she had just thrown.
Okay, we need a piece of
Just
the
judging by her ice art, I think that was the shot that she was trying to play. Like, she didn't have enough ice to get around that rock at 12 o'clock.
Oh, no,
last
for
one didn't
sure, yeah.
slow down much,
Unless she
right?
was trying to get that around that one and corner freeze to the top, the yellow in the top 4 foot.
You
But
got
that
what?
I
That was a
don't know
real
why
tough
she would have been
shot.
doing
I
that.
don't know if it was possible.
No, I don't think it would have been. It would have been really hard to do. Anyway, another opportunity here. Marlene Lang just was a little tight on the last one, so let's see if she can come around guard on. Little,
And
little heavy.
A little
I think
heavy
it's
to
a
the back
5.
12 foot.
I think it's a 25. Like a 3.0.
You're not cooperating. But I definitely got
That's okay. That's okay.
quite a bit heavier than the last one.
So Diane
Well, definitely 25.
Baxter is elected to play the in-turn draw
Okay, so
to
we
the
just gotta pick it up a notch.
full 4 foot for her second point.
Okay. We're okay for time right now.
Rocks away. Sweepers are
Used up our
staying with it.
bits,
Looks like
right?
it's got lots of weight.
Extra discussion and stuff.
Yeah.
Needs to curl. Here it comes. Needs to put on the brakes.
Okay.
Wow.
Hey,
How perfect was that?
Great shot for 2 there. So after 3 ends of our Travelers curling club curling championship, it is now 3-3 between the territories, Northwest Territories, and Manitoba. And this is Art Miskew and Jerry Chisnoka speaking to you from the Ottawa Hunt and Golf Club. So a good close game, just what we want to see. And just a quick update, I'll give you some scores. It's still 2-0 for Alberta over BC in the battle over there for first place in their pool. Quebec is up 3-1 on Saskatchewan, and they have the hammer in the fourth end. Ontario is up 2-1 with the hammer in the fourth end. Nova Scotia and Newfoundland and Labrador are tied 1-1 in the fourth end, and Nova Scotia has last rock. And they're still in the third end over there in the game between New Brunswick and Northern Ontario. And that is 2-1 for Northern Ontario. But New Brunswick has last rock. And that game does have playoff implications. So looks like a real messy end over there. So another start to the end by this time a rock in the rings. The first few ends, Diane Baxter called Wilhelmina Lenny to play a center guard, and this time it's in the rings. I don't know if she called the guard, but now Manitoba is going to play a corner guard.
Is it in? No. Do we want it in?
And Laurie Campbell, when
That's
she's
what it
not
said.
curling, likes to run, and she's completed a half marathon and various 5, 10, and 15K races.
Good for her.
And she said she scored an 8-ender
Wow.
in her life.
Wow. I haven't.
I haven't either.
I think I've scored a 7, and I once gave up a 7 to Russ Howard, but that was interesting on that call. I think she was actually calling it in because they were sweeping it all the way, and it ended up being a biter. So she was not playing a corner guard, which I would have thought she would have been doing with ignoring the rock in the rings. But I'm not sure. And now Northwest.
Wilhelmina is being asked to play a tight center guard.
Yeah, that's a good call on the rock in the rings. You could hit the rock in the Manitoba rock in the rings too. Lots of room here. It's not light either.
Lots of room and lots of weight.
Yeah, can't be light on a guard. Can't be heavy on a guard. So let's see where it's going to end up. Let's hope it stops in the back. Okay, back 8. It's better than being through, that's for sure. She wanted the guard, but at least she's got one in the rings. Laurie Campbell now asked to play a takeout. Could make a double here, be sitting 2. Main thing is you get one and stick around. You can even roll in front of that one a bit. It's pretty close.
Nice shot.
Didn't make the double, but pretty good shot. Just an update on that game I mentioned before. Northern Ontario stole one on New Brunswick, and they're up 3-1 after 3 ends. That game's important because if New Brunswick wins, there will be a tiebreaker. If they don't win, there will be no tiebreaker in that pool. Northern Ontario, if they win, they'll be in the top 3, and they'll be in the same. They'll be in the playoffs for sure without having to go through a tiebreaker. If New Brunswick wins, they will get into a tiebreaker, and they'd be tied with Northern Ontario. And the loser of the BC Alberta game. A little bit of a rollout there from Northern Ontario. It's giving Manitoba a chance to get another rock in the rings.
Make sure it's got to be in. Is it in?
Interesting call that she's going to the open, ignoring the Territories rock in the back 8. She could play a freeze here on that one, Jerry. What do you...
I thought that's what her call was initially, but you're right. She's going to the wings again.
Yeah, interesting call. I mean, by doing this, assuming the Territories hits it, they would have 2 in, pretty spread out. I think she has to hit something here.
Well, maybe not.
It might not be their strength. Maybe they are more of a draw team. They're more comfortable with that shot, so I guess you have to appreciate that.
Come here. It's up to you, but I'd rather come here. You gotta sit right on top. Just drop to that one.
Not bad. Getting better every class.
Or coming behind the yellow. I'd rather like.
So on the, just an update here, while they're discussing this shot, BC got 1, just missed a chance for 2, over in the 4th end on the BC Alberta game. So it's 2-1 for Alberta after 4 ends. After that discussion, I think the Northwest Territories team has changed their train of thought, and they will be playing a hit rather than a draw.
Yep. Hard.
Very hard.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Ooh, this has a little more weight than she thought.
She's got more weight on that.
Oh, wow.
I think they got a little excited on that one after she threw it. She came a little off balance and maybe threw more weight than they thought. And missed the hit. But interestingly enough, Marlene Lang is still ignoring that Territories rock in the back 8. I'm not sure if I would have hit that rock, Jerry. I might have hit the other rock, the Manitoba rock on the side, on the other side. Because then if you were sitting one, you had to roll on that one. I think they tried too hard for the roll, hitting 3rd shot. But the beak would have been fine on the other one. Interestingly enough,
The danger of hitting that rock at 11 o'clock is, I mean, you could have just easily rolled out.
Yeah.
You wouldn't hold your shooter.
Okay. Yeah.
This is actually a pretty good shot here. It's guarding their 2nd shot. It's getting a little scary for Northwest Territories, leaving all these Manitoba ones in. Well, they didn't leave them in last time. It was just a bit of a missed hit. But I'm sure they'd love to make this one.
She'll try, Eleanor.
I think this is kind of a must-make here for Donna Maring. She has to make this hit,
Okay.
and you really want to roll.
She has to hold the shooter.
Yeah, you want to hold the shooter. Maybe roll towards that 2nd shot way over there in the side 12. You don't want to get too greedy, but I think she really needs to get this shooter in the ring. She's not throwing as much weight, but she's still pretty far out there. They're going to have to hope that curls big time. Or she's got pretty solid weight on this. Does she have a piece?
No.
Ooh, no, this isn't very good. Now I think Manitoba has to make a play on this one. Yeah, they are finally doing that. So here's a hit to lay 4. Hit to lay 4 for Pamela Koch. Even if she rolls out, it's not bad. You'll be sitting 3.
She's rolling out, making it be the end of the world here, Art, because if you sit there, then you might just force her to play a perfect freeze on you.
Yeah. She's a little wide. I think she's curling down a bit. I think she's going to get a piece of it. Yeah, that's all she's going to get. Good shot. Boy, if she plays a freeze here, a tough shot. You're still at third's last rock, so I think you maybe have a couple of chances to make a hit, but she's not playing it. This is a really hard freeze. Some of the times the teams from some of the areas that don't get as much curling, it's one thing on the coaching side. They might play some calls that are a little harder. I mean, the freeze on this shot is a tough shot. And it might have been better just to hit that top one. Maybe get a double if you're lucky.
Or hang around and sit in front of the rock at the back of the house and then force Manitoba to make a nice
right
hit and roll.
Because that was a little hot, and I believe it's 4th shot. So suddenly Manitoba is threatening to crack this open with a big end. Especially you're down to Skips Rocks. Third's last rock for Manitoba. Territories only has Skips Rocks to go, so it's going to be a little hard to prevent potentially a big end here.
Manitoba has to be careful not to put this rock in a position that Territories can use to freeze, to salvage the end or get out of the end, because, like you say, Manitoba's got this end going their way.
Ooh, this one's a little light, though.
Don't kill yourself,
It's not going to get in the rings because the other yellow would be in the way even if they kept her going. Interesting now. Like, do you play a hit now? She's going to play that same freeze. Again, I'd almost prefer to play a hit here. Maybe make a double. Maybe get something in there and make them hit. But this is a really hard freeze with it being like over-buried.
This is an all-or-nothing shot here almost.
Yeah. Even if their last red had stopped a foot shorter, that might provide some
backing.
Possible freeze to one or the other, a backing shot.
Even if she makes the perfect come around, then it's just a real short in-turn run back to remove it. So.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd love if they were going to be throwing a run back on her.
At this stage, I agree.
Yeah, those can be missed, but even that last shot, open draw was missed, but doesn't hurt you really. It would have hurt you more if it had been a center guard. It's like lots of room again, but I'm not sure of the weight. They're sweeping it. Again, it's got to curl a bit. Not sure if that's heavy. They're sweeping it. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Is she by?
Whoa. It's way by.
Wait if you can. Yeah, you're good to go. Yep.
Again, that might be just a little over-anxiousness, a little lack of experience, on the judgment of those. But she threw that pretty well and just didn't need sweeping at all. It wasn't close to the guard.
And that beautiful line.
Well, another chance for Manitoba to lay 4. One thing she can't do is come up light again and maybe set up a guard on this side.
So what is it for okay.
There was a measure in the Saskatchewan-Quebec game. We'll give you the results of that in a minute. She only wants to go top 12, which is interesting, but she don't want to be lighter than that. I'd like top 8 here just because then they can't really come around it. She's pretty nice here. That had almost perfect line for the shot that the Territories was playing. That's going to be real hard to get that. Now she cannot play a freeze there. Again, you're down. You're tied here, and you're.
You could almost ignore it and go play that in turn, come around those 2 corner guards.
Yeah. I would have still. Now, on this shot, I'd play a double.
Yeah.
If you do, you'd probably be like second shot. But if they hit it, they might roll out or something. But I think maybe you're past that point at this point. You only have 1 rock left.
Like you guys could have had that to tee for sure.
This is going to be a tough one.
Nice, sweet, nice.
Well,
catch,
she
guys.
can
I think she's trying to
freeze
just,
into that little pocket
for second shot.
for second shot.
And it's not that easy because there's not a full rock to freeze to. I mean, you could even get lucky and get shot and make that freeze, and who knows, but
If you can get it close there, Art, you scare Manitoba away to just play the draw for 2.
boy, they'd love that, wouldn't they? I think if you told the Territories they were going to give up 2 this end right now, they'd throw a party, but I think this is how to give up 5 as well. She's heavy on the first one. Is she going to be a little lighter on this one? The line looks real good, though.
Hard.
Ooh, the line is perfect looking.
Weight
They
look
can get
really
it there.
good too. It's coming.
They've got to get it there.
She's there.
It was so
Wow.
close to being perfect. Boy, just a quarter-inch curl less, and that would have been a perfect freeze, and they would have forced Manitoba probably to 1. Now there is a hit for, a few. I think she'd lose the yellow one next to it. If she can beat this, she'd score 4. She just can't go low side. She could even be high. She could come off the other yellow that was just touched on the way by the Territories, just if she feathers off that. She obviously can't hit it too high, but she could feather off there and get it that way. Just can't be narrow. That's the only thing you can't do. Like I say, nose, little off nose on the high side is perfect. The other yellow going out would not jam on the other yellow either, I don't believe.
I don't think so.
Looks like she's throwing good weight at it. Here it comes.
Yes.
I think she looks pretty good.
Whoa. Yes.
Nice shot.
Good solid weight.
For 1, 2, 3, 4, it looks like.
4, yes. So after 4 ends here in the Travelers Club Curling Championship, it is a count of 4, so it's 7-3 for Manitoba over the Northwest Territories. That cracks the end. Cracks a big end. Cracks the game open a little bit, and they're going to be on their 4-end break. So we're going to take a little break too, and we'll be back to see you or talk to you after that. Thanks.
watching a tourney on this wee magic box.
Magic box?
Right now, there are 4 different games going on, and all you can see is one.
There's highlights.
In curling, each stone thrown can define the match. And you are waiting for highlights. You should be there, living it live.
The Tim Hortons Briar is at TD Place in Ottawa, March 5th to 13th. Be there and live it live.
Well, welcome back here to the Travelers Club Curling Championship from the Ottawa Hunt and Golf Club. I'm Art Miskew here with Jerry Chisnoka, and we're halfway through of our game with Manitoba, up 7-3 on the Northwest Territories. So Territories been playing pretty well. Maybe a couple of calls they might have done a little differently last end, and they gave Manitoba a chance to crack that big end and get the 4 to take this lead. So the so this is the 7th year this championship's gone on, and Travelers, well, Dominion actually started it back in 2009. They've now expanded it, and Travelers has taken over. They bought Dominion, and it's a championship that's been embraced by the curlers around the country. And we have 14 associations represented, so there are 28 teams here, men and women from the 14 curling associations across the country. And from what I'm seeing here all week, the teams are having a great time, and they're getting to meet new friends, and they're getting good competition. So it's been a very successful event since it started. And Ottawa's really pleased to host this event for the first time. Well, this end's starting out. Sorry, Jerry.
I was going to say, I guess that first Manitoba stone is just off the rings. It's hard to... Anyways, we got 2 center guards up. Manitoba's going around.
Yeah, I think it's either just biting or not, but either way, I think the Territories is going to draw. They seem to prefer the draw than the hit. And now they're going to have to do some drawing.
Given the scoreboard, they're going to have to put a lot of rocks in play.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and get back in this game with making some draws. They're going to need a few breaks.
But, you know, you get your deuce, hold them to 1. Yeah. Back get a deuce. This is... The front stone is definitely on the rings now.
Yeah. Shot from Laurie Campbell. Tried to come around, just maybe a tad light, and overcurled onto the guard. Opportunity now for Wilhelmina Lenny, the lead for the Territories team, to get one around the guards. This does curl a lot here, as we've seen. It's just a question of just getting the right weight. If you do have the right weight, it'll curl real hard at the end. Ooh, that one's really going too. That's not going to get by.
Whoa!
Again, a little inexperience there. I found, you know, if it needs sweeping for weight, the sweepers have to jump it. They can't wait for the skip to call them on, and the skip called them on a little later in the game there. But I thought she threw it pretty well. Actually, I did think it was going to have a little more weight than that. Jackie Hendrickson, second for Manitoba. She's now going to try that same shot around the guards. Manitoba, after throwing a couple of guards right off the bat, really has put them in a situation where they're going to be playing draws, not hits. They're not trying to run this game down by just keeping it open. And this could be a real nice shot if they can get it by. Oh, it just feathered the guard. Real good try.
I'm not sure this was Manitoba's plan for this end, but it's given the scoreboard, but they're into it.
Yeah, it started, I think, a little bit by mistake, Jerry, but now they've kind of committed to it now. Just an update, New Brunswick in a game they have to win to force a tiebreaker has just scored a 2 to tie their game with Northern Ontario. And Alberta, in a battle for first with BC, has scored 1, so they are now up 3-1. Oh, Saskatchewan has tied Quebec. They've gotten 2, so it's 3-3 in that game. And Ontario is up 3-1 on Prince Edward Island, playing the 5th. Also, Nova Scotia up 2-1 on Newfoundland and Labrador. So almost a perfect roll there, Jerry. I thought she was going to get that for the territories.
Yeah, it just
stayed up on her.
Just stayed up on her. Need to come a bit.
Now a chance for. Well, this is
This
close.
is going to get the inside roll, I think. No, it's
Ooh.
not much, but
Not bad though. She's cut off an inside roll.
yeah, it's a quarter buried.
Yep. There's no way you can get by that and then get the roll inside.
So Eleanor Jerome is going to be asked, change of mind?
Just while they're going to talk about this, I was talking about all the teams coming down. I'm really pleased about how many family members and friends have come down from their respective provinces to see a lot of the players here. I see a bunch of Alberta people with blue shirts next to me, indicating where they fit into their configuration on the team, like father or mother or girlfriend or boyfriend. So it's kind of neat to see across the club. It's a good crowd here at the club and good atmosphere. So like I say, anybody who's in the area and wants to come down, they might really enjoy it, seeing the curling and seeing all the people from all over the country.
I know at one of the other games we did, there was a lot of flag waving behind the glass as the shots were made.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
kind of like a Briar atmosphere in here on a mini basis.
Yeah, it is. It's really kind of fun to see. Oh, here's a little tight on this. Actually, that wasn't bad.
Not bad.
It's not exactly what she wanted, but she's opened the front up a bit because even though they want rocks in play to try and score, the end wasn't really starting off their way with the angles were going the way they were going for the territories. So they're able to clear the front a little bit. That gives them a little more space. Maybe get a couple of rocks in the rings. Pamela Koch now throwing an intern draw. Interesting, Manitoba actually could peel that center guard, and
I
they.
thought she might walk up and do that, Art, but
Yeah.
it's not her game. It's not her style.
We were watching the Manitoba men earlier, and it was sure their style. And they were peeling everything in sight, and they did it quite well. So they were, they got the jump on the Alberta men, and they were able to keep them at bay by the hitting they were doing.
There was a nice little bit of nudge roll in by Manitoba.
Right, that's a pretty good result. They're near the center now, and they're cutting off the scoring area a bit. So the territories, they want to be aggressive to try and get 2 points, but they can't be too aggressive to the point where they're going to give up another steal, because then they'll really be in trouble. So you almost want to tap this a little bit, and she's taking a little less ice, and maybe that's the call now. Maybe just like back house weight. What do you think?
I think she has to move that rock back out of there, because otherwise Manitoba, despite the scoreboard, might be just covering it on her,
Right.
guarding it.
Yeah, if you just froze to that, you wouldn't be shot. 'Cause it's in the top 4.
And the way the other rocks are situated, there's very difficult draw to the 4-foot.
Right. Well, I think they got to go hard on this one. This is on a tighter line, and it's a different line altogether. Oh, she's definitely not going to get the tap on that. In fact, she might even
She
guard
doesn't have
it.
the weight.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Now it's going to be interesting because Manitoba, given that they are a pretty aggressive team when they have rocks in here, yeah, they're going to try and get another one in because even though there's a port there, and she's not going to guard the port because the port's not going to get to the shot rock, and I think she's going to say, if you want to throw a double at me, you can try a tricky shot through a port.
I really like this call, Art.
Yeah, me too. I think it's a good call. She can get around this center rock. Get maybe right to the on top of that one in the 4-foot. Oh, she's just calling top 12 now, which is pretty good. You'd rather be top 12 than back 12 for sure.
Oh, for sure. Oh, this is going to be a perfect throw. This is perfect. Ooh.
Yeah, now there's a lot of pressure on the Territories team.
Wow.
Now, how do they get in there? How are they going to score in this end? I mean, they could come in through the port and perhaps make a double, but that's a really tough one. And even if
But
you
then
did...
Manitoba still shot rock and probably going to guard.
Yep.
She's almost got to get rid of that, run that red one back.
Yeah, this is a really tough shot. She could try that, but again, that's a tough shot if you're not used to throwing a lot of weight.
Or you want this turn? That one. Huh? This one, eh? Because it'll run straight with a big weight. Huh? It'll run straight with a big weight? Yeah. Okay.
But if she can run this back and hold it into the house someplace and roll her shooter so that there's a bit of room to get into that 4-foot area.
Yeah, the one good thing for her is if she get it anywhere close to the nose, there's a big target of yellow rocks back there.
Pretty hard to miss them all.
Yeah, but you still have to hit a pretty good chunk of it. And it's not a short guard. It's at least halfway, so it's not like a short little run back. And again, I get the feeling throwing big weight shots is not really the game they're most comfortable with. They're really going hard, and I think it is over curling on them, so she's just going to take out the guard.
She's opened it up.
Yeah, she opened it up, but unfortunately she didn't get the run back action she needed. Yeah, it's all Manitoba this end the way it is right now, because right now the path to get anywhere near the 4-foot is really getting pretty congested right now.
The only shot she may have is that wide out-turn draw.
Yeah, and that's a real tough one.
And that'd be to hold them to 1.
Yeah. In fact, Manitoba could even decide to block that, not play this guard, because really there's no way in here. It's just a possible double in this way. Yeah, we're seeing some more of that flag waving. That game between BC and Alberta has got the crowd going over there. And both teams will be in the playoffs tomorrow if you want to come out and see them. Or one will be in on tomorrow night, one in the afternoon.
Get a rod then.
This is pretty good. I mean, anything out there is okay. She could have gone even deeper or put the guard a little further, but yeah, you're right, Jerry. It looks like she's looking at that out-turn draw, and I mean, this is one that has to be made. If she doesn't make it here, she probably won't get another chance at it.
No.
The only thing she'd have then is maybe the off the red, but again, that's a shot that would require some weight, and I'm not sure if that's in her arsenal.
I suppose she could play that in-turn hit on that rock just off the center line and try and hold the shooter, and give herself 2 options with her last rock, but like this is an all or nothing draw.
Yeah. Yeah, if she doesn't make it, yeah, like I say, she's probably not going to have another crack at it. I suppose she could get shot if she just gets to the button, but that's real hard. It has to just curl at the end then. I'm not sure if it has the line. That's going to start to curl. They got to go hard for the line, but I think the weight, Just not getting by the guard. The weight was pretty close. Now, the bad thing about it is it's kind of blocked up part of the path, hasn't it? It's definitely, I think it's blocked off the in-off, but maybe I'm wrong.
Wow, this is
Matt, I'd say Manitoba throws a guard here, but I think the best way to throw it, Jerry, is the in-turn.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I don't think you can get the out-turn. You got to take so much ice. You might just wreck that
Yeah,
on that rock that
and the weight would be
territory
different.
just threw it, and it's.
Yeah, you'd be way out on the side.
Or you know what?
Whatever, same. If I have the right.
I don't think there's an out-turn draw right. There isn't an out-turn. The only draw shot that she's got is that in-off on that rock on the outside part of the house.
Yeah, that'd be pretty tough. So it's yeah, this is going to be a pretty.
In-turn bump.
Right now, you figure, yeah. I mean, right now, I don't even know. Would you play the bump here, or would you just play like maybe just freeze up there to the ones in the rings? The only risk with the bump is if you're a little heavy or hit it the wrong way, you might give her the opening.
Well, you're right.
Right now, this is the, like,
Don't want to give her an even break here.
out of a couple, but if we could get one closer to the 4.
Actually, she doesn't throw this shot.
So, did you guys sweep that last one much or what?
It's
Yeah.
probably, it's
Yeah,
probably okay for her.
Yeah, she could hog this rock, and I still don't know how she's not going to steal at least one. It's right now, she's sitting 4 with the 3 in there and the 1 biter.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Coming down on the in-turn,
Yep. All the way.
I don't know.
Yep. All the way. Right up. Well. Go guys, hard. Well.
It's pretty good. Well, that's a real nice shot.
Wow.
Right now, there's not much left here for the territory. She has to play this in-off way in the side. And again, you're going to have to throw weight.
I think she's looking at the draw, though, Art.
Oh, really?
That is a hard draw.
Oh, yeah. I don't think the angle's there for the draw. I don't think you can get through that port on the staggered port.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Jerry, I think they might have called a timeout on the Alberta-BC game, so I don't know if you want to go out and talk to the teams. Anyway, this is a do-or-die shot, and to be honest with you, I don't know if she can make it with that angle. Well, they're talking it over.
I'm not convinced. I'm not sure what she's playing here, Art.
No, me neither. I mean, I
She's
I
playing
think,
the Rays, maybe?
oh, maybe the Rays. Yeah, she has the ice. If she, I
That
knew
looks-
she could throw a lot of weight. She'd be that's probably the ice for the in-off.
But
I don't think she
doesn't
has
have
that
that kind of weight in her repertoire. But I
No.
bet you she's playing the Rays.
Wow, this is a super hard shot. Well, they'd all be hard. Let's see what she has. Oh yeah, you're right. She's playing a draw type shot. I think they have to go hard for line. I don't think she's. I think she's a little tight.
I guess she was playing the draw.
She's on the low side already. Maybe she get plan B. No, it's not quite going to do it. Well, I hate to say it, but it's a draw for 5 coming up for Manitoba. You almost feel embarrassed to throw one when you have a draw for 5. Actually, I think,
That was it.
are they going to quit?
That was last rock, Art.
You're right. It's not a draw for 5. It was a steal of 4.
You've been watching too many of the other sheets.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was actually a steal of 4. So unfortunately,
Pardon me, 5.
it was 5.
Marking 5.
I think we must have missed a rock in there. So it's a 5. So it's 12-3 for Manitoba over the Territories after 5 ends here of the Travelers Club Curling Championship here at the Ottawa Golf and Hunton Golf Club. Sorry, Hunton. I think it's more golfing here than hunting, but it's still called the Hunton Golf Club. There's even
When
more.
you clean out your locker, Art, did you take your guns home?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, my brush looks like a gun, but no, I. So that pretty well puts paid to this game, but they'll play it out and see if they can get on the board here. Let's hope the Territories can score in this end. They've again, had a pretty good week. This hasn't been their game, and Manitoba hasn't really been their week, but this has been their game, and they're just going to go out and do the best they can right to the end. Like I say, from another score, there is a 4-point lead now from Northern Ontario over New Brunswick, so that might mitigate the need for a tiebreaker on that women's pool. They're up 7-3, but there's still 3 ends to go, so it's not over yet, but clearly control it for Northern Ontario's hands right now. Good game, 3-1 still with Alberta BC. I believe Alberta stole another one. It might be 4-1 now. Just wait till they mark that up. Let's see, the other games, Quebec's up 5-3. It's over Saskatchewan, playing the 6. They don't have Hammer. Good looking game for Quebec. Ontario still up 3-2. They've had a great week. The Ontario women, neat story there. You've got one lady, Laura Davis Cook, who played in 2 national junior championships in 72 and 3, is now playing with her daughters in this, in her first national championship since those times. So it's a team of 3 family members on the same team, which is kind of neat. And they're in first place in the women's in their pool right now at 5-0. They're trying to, 5-0. Yeah, they're trying to finish off undefeated in their pool. But they're playing the team that's in second, PEI, so it's a good close game. Newfoundland and Labrador is tied 2-2 with Nova Scotia. I just hope the territories, you want to finish, if you're going to lose the game, you want to finish with a point. So in order to do that, you want to sort of keep it a fairly clean. And they might be trying to get 2, but Manitoba doesn't mind, I believe, if they just kind of keep it clean and give up a point themselves, I would think. They'd probably play a hit here. Tracking a bit. Does she have a piece of it, or is she going to get the back one? Ooh!
A very small piece, right?
Yeah, otherwise she would have taken her back one out.
No.
Okay, let's
Which
see.
probably wouldn't have been the end of the world.
No. All right, let's see if the territories can come up with a 2 here. Let's all cheer for them. Will them for the 2. Okay, let's see if we can get this one made first.
She's playing to hit.
Yep.
This rock is tracking.
Does she have a piece?
I don't know.
Oh, geez.
No.
They've had a few that are just missing on there. I think their team strength is the draw, and maybe they don't like to hit as much, so they're that's might be why she's favored the draw, but they've just missed a few hits today.
And this isn't, if you're not used to swingy ice, this isn't easy ice to hit on, because if you have to wait, it runs straight on you. But it'll curl 5 feet.
Yeah, if you take some weight off, like even this one, look at this.
Awesome.
That rock was, did get a piece of it, but it was really curling.
Yeah.
I thought she might have played the freeze on her previous stone.
Yeah, maybe that was the better call. Anyway, it'd be nice if they could make a little freeze tap. This looks pretty good. I'd want to see, this is also a little experience. The rock looks pretty good coming in, but they're not keeping it clean.
It's got a nice line.
Yeah, and now it's over curling a bit.
Actually, it's going.
Might even go right by it.
It's going sideways. Just the top of the house, it just went sideways.
Yeah. One thing new curlers have to remember is it's not just up to the skip to call you to sweep. You should almost be keeping every rock clean unless you're told not to. And if you think it's close, keep it clean. And also be the one who judges not only weight, not line, but more weight. The weight curler sweepers really have to judge weight. This looks pretty good for Pamela. Pamela Koch. She's got a good solid hit here. There, Manitoba just trying to keep it clean here, and I'm pretty sure the Territories team would, unless they score a big 5 or something, or maybe going to call it a day here, but they're going to keep fighting to really score in this end too. Not sure which one she's trying to freeze to here. If she's trying to freeze to this left one, she's going to have to really sweep it, and that's what they're doing. So, a little tap maybe. Come on.
Oh, too bad.
Again, they weren't. It seemed a little uncertain about when to sweep that one. I think it's just one of those days for them. They might be a little tired after this week, and they put up a good fight and lost a couple of close ones, but it might be just getting to them. It's hard when you're in a competition like this and representing your province or association or territory to stay focused the whole time.
It's a little disheartening to give up 9 points in 2 ends.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't help the cause. But I mean, my daughter curls competitively, and so does your son, and you talk to them after an event, and they're mentally exhausted more than anything, just from reading ice, and not just the playing, but like I say, trying to figure out different paths of weights on the ice. Like, everything is so scientific now, and so it's just mentally tiring.
And for the non-curlers out there who are maybe listening to us, being a skip and is as tiring as being a front end player and sweeping, if not more so. Just the mental fatigue.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, people don't think about it that way, but it is really like a chess game on ice. But when you're actually trying to read different ice and releases and figure out the strategy, it's very mentally tiring, like you say.
I would even say more so than being a front end sweeper.
Yeah. Of course, the front end and all the players on the team are very focused on every shot, so they're thinking too, and they like to judge everything perfectly. Like when you're sweeping a rock to a 6-inch area, you're concentrating the whole way down, and you don't like it when you're a few inches off. So you always want to be your best.
Well, there was a nice tap back by Territories.
Yep, they're getting a chance to maybe score here.
The second rock, sorry.
Yep, they're sitting second here, so it'd be nice if they could get a crack at scoring.
Manitoba has to be careful how they remove this stone. They don't want to jam it in those rocks in the back.
No. Yeah, she doesn't want to be wide. I guess ideally the shot is a little hit and roll behind towards the middle. But not a lot of pressure on the shot, though.
No.
Yeah, when you're up big like this, you don't really feel a lot of pressure.
You just got to maintain your focus.
Yeah.
That's the hard part sometimes.
And if you miss some focus a little bit, you're forgiven. But they'd like to finish well. They'd like to finish this round robin with a win.
It's a nice looking rock coming down.
Yeah, it looks real good.
Wow.
Good shot.
When things are working, things work.
Yeah. Now again, the Territories Baxter's going to play a little freeze on this. I mean, you've got to move it a bit. I mean, ideally you want to move it back about 6 inches to a foot. But you want to err on being heavy, not light. On the other hand, if you throw it heavy with too much ice, you're going to be in trouble too. So
there isn't much margin for error on this shot.
No. Do you like this, or maybe just a little tap?
It's a sweeper's shot, actually.
Yeah. I'd like to play a little tap, like even hack weight, minimum hack weight, just to get some rocks off the forefoot. I'd be taking a little bit less ice than this and throwing a little more weight. Because if I'm down big like this, I want to score one before I shake hands. So the club here at Hunt Club has had a lot of volunteers come out, not just from the club, but from other clubs. It's been a really good display of volunteerism. And the Ottawa area has come through again, just as they're going to in the Briar this March. Uh-oh, this can't be
I
light.
believe there are over 550 volunteers registered so far for the Briar Art.
Really, eh? Well, I know I'm not one of them. I signed up too late, so I'm only on the waiting list.
I'll put you on my committee.
Yeah. I want to score games, but they said, okay, well, that's unfortunate. Again, this is where I would have preferred to be a little heavy, take less ice than that, and throw a little more weight just to get those rocks off. If I was Manitoba, I'd almost want to open that up and give the Territories a chance to score one here. Just, but I mean, you don't want to miss a shot on purpose either. So it's try and do the best you can here.
I don't want to touch their 7.
Well, I guess she's going to leave the tap up.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause that's real
for
simple.
one.
Yeah, that's a simple tap up for one. Except if she touches this rock over about 3 inches, that'll cut that off too.
Got a nice line
Yeah,
on that rock.
true enough, eh?
It's coming in really nice.
Won't be much left.
We're just going to try to tap up ours, I think. No line.
Again, not a lot of pressure on this shot. She could have just taken out that top red one,
Whoa.
just to give them a chance to get one in.
Yep. No line. Where's her weight?
This might do what we were saying, cut off the only run back they have.
I just want to take it a little bit in the way.
Yeah, that's what she said. She wanted, and that's what she did.
That's what she just did.
There's only one shot now, I think, and that's the
The
outturn
outturn
draw.
draw to the edge of the lid, right?
Yeah, through a little port.
Whoops. No, there's an intern shot here, I guess.
Oh, that's super hard.
I don't see this one.
I
but
don't see that for one. I see maybe getting second shot out of this if you make a really good one. But if she gets one here, that would be one of the shots of the week.
I know.
I'd play the outturn here.
I think that's the only shot she has for one
Yeah.
to count. I don't think this shot is makeable.
No, I don't think so either. She'd have to just skinny by the red with back 4 weight, just have it curl up in time, and I don't know if it would do that.
But Manitoba moved that rock at 12 o'clock and the top 8 foot over just enough. It's blocking the path of that red stone to come in for shot rock.
Right. It's got a nice line, but I
guess she's just playing the straight draw.
I think she's just drawing for second if she can make it. She's actually thrown it pretty well.
Wow. What a shot.
Nice try to get the shot and made a great shot to get second. So
That was an incredibly difficult shot
yeah,
she just made.
we should give her one for that. So, but unfortunately, Manitoba did score. Not unfortunately for them, they scored one. No, it's 13-3 after 6 ends here of the Travelers Club Championship Nationals, and I think that's it for this game. They're shaking hands, and just before we sign off, Northern Ontario's up 8-3 on New Brunswick. It's 3-2 for Newfoundland and Labrador over Nova Scotia. 3-3 in the PEI against Ontario game, so that's an interesting one. And 5-3 for Quebec over Saskatchewan, and 4-1 for Alberta over BC. So This is Art Miskew and Jerry Chisnoka signing off, and thanks for listening to us on our coverage
Just
of the
before
game.
we go, Art, remind people
yeah.
that there is the tiebreaker tomorrow morning at 8:30,
Right.
and
That's Quebec men
Quebec.
against Saskatchewan men.
so
And I believe that's the only tiebreaker, unless something drastic changes on these games on the women's side. There'll only be one tiebreaker, and it'll be a men's game tomorrow at 8:30. So looking forward to anybody who can't come out here to catch it on this streaming. And I guess we're signing off then.
good night. See you tomorrow morning.